How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. I got myself a good deal on an M.2 drive and so I bought one. Now typically they're not cheap. This is the 512GB Western Digital Black PCIe M.2 SSD. Now this drive is really small, and to get into my PC I had to take my graphics card out because the M.2 drive is below that. Now I don't really know why it's there, but one thing I can say is that maybe it's just there for a little bit of cooling from the graphics card when the fan kicks in, because this thing gets hot, and I mean flipping hot. It goes to 76 degrees, which is not really a safe point for a CMOS, and in fact it even heats up my graphics card by about 10 degrees when it's really hot. So it's not a good idea to have this without a heatsink, and so I got myself a heatsink, and the before and after is actually quite good. Now at max I've got it seen up to 61 degrees, which is still pretty hot, but it's much better than 76 degrees. And when I'm not using it all that much, when I'm browsing the web or something like that, it hovers around 40 or 50 degrees, which is fine. I think that's a much better spot to be, even though it's not really healthy. But I mean, that's one of the things with these M.2 drives. They may be really small and everything, but they get really hot. One of the advantages of this M.2 drive is the speed. Now I actually use a Ryzen system, and believe it or not, when I moved from an SSD to the M.2 drive, I actually saw a huge bump in just the kind of performance and how snappy it was. This Western Digital drive isn't even at the top of the line when it comes to, I mean, you know, speed wise. Samsung ones are much faster, but this one's about 2 GB read speed and about 1 GB write speed. Much better than SSD, but then again, it's not really worth it considering the price. Now that being said, there are some other advantages when you consider the price. That is just, you know, the amount of speed it just improves the whole operating system. It's gone a lot more snappier. Everything is just so much more quicker. The booting up time is actually quite amazing. It boots up within seconds. That is really cool. And just, I think mainly it's all to do with the latency, because this is plugged directly into the motherboard. This has a really low latency, and I mean, it does everything really quickly. Now the speed I've got on this when I benchmarked it was 1.7 gigabytes a second, which is just a little bit under, and about 800 or 600 megabytes write speed, which isn't really all that good, but I think I could get a better score if I did left it on for longer. Now in the Windows settings, if you disable the cache kind of thing for the drive, then it actually goes a lot more slower for some reason, so you need to keep that on. For this specific one, I think it doesn't matter with Samsung ones, or you know, you're better off just keeping it on anyways. Now the question is, do you really need this? And the answer to that is, well, kind of, but kind of not. So if you're just, you know, an average user, you got a PC at home and you just wanna do your average things like web browse and stuff, then no, you're okay with even a hard drive. But I do recommend an SSD, which are, you know, cheap nowadays. If you're a gamer, still stick with an SSD, SATA SSD, because that, considering the price, is fast enough. If you're an enthusiast, or you know, somebody who works on the computer a lot, especially with video editing and rendering and everything, this is definitely going to be a worthwhile. And just make sure you get heatsink, because I do some video editing and all, and I have to say this has sped up a lot of my work. The scrubbing and the video editor is really fast and everything. I mean, I haven't had any problem with it. Overall, it's just really cool. I didn't expect it to be much of an improvement over a SATA SSD, but it's actually a bit of a jump. So I'm actually quite happy with the fact that I got one. Anyways, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go buy one. It is a bit expensive, but I got one, you know, really cheap and everything. But that's just me. You can probably find one if you look on eBay. You might get one for much cheaper or a better deal. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in another video.